well, now that I've made sure I won't cough and die during this video. Today's video, as you can probably tell from the title, we are going to be turning a pair of jeans into those classic high-waisted cut-off short that I feel like every Pinterest girl and Visco girl and Tumblr girl has. I don't know, they just like complement everyone's like butt cheeks really well. They really show off that booty, even if you don't really have that much of a booty, which I don't. Working on that. For a pair for a really long time, but those babies are so expensive. So I got this pair of Levi's jeans. They're the full length ones. And I got them at Plato's Closet. They are the boyfriend ones and they are in a size 27. I'm typically a size 24 to 25 depending on the brand and like the fit of the jean and like how high up the waist it goes. So these are a few inches too big on me. And I figured I could just like sew down here and here on the edges and just like finagle it into the shape I want. Also, I could have done this with any other pair of jeans. Obviously, like you can do this with another brand. You don't have to find like Levi's jeans, but I just really love the contrast between the blue with the red and the brown of this patch. And I know that's like so silly because it's just like a patch on your butt, but I don't know. It's really cute. Also, I'm going to be doing this with like normal thread and not like heavy duty thread, so please get heavy duty thread if you do this because yeah, I'm not professional and I don't feel like going to buy it even though I really should buy it because these are probably going to rip while I'm in public and then I'm just going to flash everyone, so that's what we're dealing with. Okay, so the problem with having to take in your jeans that are a little bit too big for you is like deciding where to take in the fabric. In total, I think I'm gonna have to take off like 2 inches, 2 to 3 inches from this, and I'm just gonna measure it with a Sharpie and some safety pins just to figure out where I need to like sew. I want to avoid that like pocket bunch thing that kind of turns into like a uniboob where the pockets just like merge together on the butt. So to avoid that, I'm gonna do a little bit down the center because these are kind of close already. And then I'm gonna do a little bit down the sides. Because I'm a size 25 or 24, I'm gonna aim for like 24 and a half-ish. I need to take off about 2.5 inches off of this. So I think I could divide that evenly between the 3 sections and it won't look ugly. We'll see. As you see in this clip, the jeans are a little spacey. Got plenty of extra room in here, so we're going to flip these inside out so it's easier for us to safety pin and mark where we're going to be sewing. Also, I want to do it in this way because like honestly I probably could just take it in on the sides and it would look fine, but I'm using a pair of jeans that's like not that much bigger than my current like size. If you're doing this with like a size that's like 4 or 5 times bigger than yours, then you should probably know how to do it this way because then you have like a lot more room for error and you can't really put it all back together by just like putting it to, you can't really make them smaller by just putting 2 darts on the sides because you're gonna have so much extra fabric that you need to like spread it out evenly, if that makes sense. So we're gonna do it this way. Plus because I just want to make things harder for myself like I do with everything in life. So I want this pair of shorts to have a high-waisted look, so to achieve that, I'm going to hike up the waistband and do this weird little crotch maneuver to get the pair of jeans to sit a little higher up and make sure they're still comfortable, like it doesn't feel like it's giving you a wedgie. And then you pinch the sides and it's going to create this kind of butt flap situation in the back. Don't worry, it's supposed to look like that. Now we're going to safety pin the sides. This took a little bit of time because that is some thick material. And once it is secured, we're going to address that butt flap. You're going to pinch it with your fingers, and because it's harder to safety pin something without stabbing yourself that is behind you, you are going to take a Sharpie and draw a line instead of trying to do that without injuring yourself. I tried it and trust me, I did stab myself a few times. You're going to draw a line up the seam that you're pinching, and if it isn't perfect, it's not that big of a deal. Just make sure you get that top notch. That's the most important part. If you get that spot, then you can pretty much figure it out once you take off the jeans and like see the line that you've drawn. is obviously better on one side than the other. Meet my senior citizen of a sewing machine. I've had her for over 10 years, but you know what? She is still going strong. For the pair of shorts, I'm going to be using a pretty wide stitch, and I'm going to be going very slow and carefully because using a normal needle on thick denim is, not a good idea, and you could break a needle. But I managed to do this without hurting myself. I also used the hand crank a little bit just to get over the super thick parts. As you can see, I sewed up the sides and it fits pretty well, but it kind of did pucker a little bit weirdly, so I'm just gonna hand stitch that down because I'm kind of scared to run over the metal buttons with my sewing machine. Now that the sides are pretty much where they're supposed to be, it's time to tackle that dreaded butt dart in the back. I am terrified of messing this up, but we're just gonna wing it and hope it goes well. I sewed down the line that I had drawn earlier, but in addition, I had also safety pinned it to keep the fabric together and make it easier to maneuver through my sewing machine. This section I definitely used a lot more of the hand crank because this area is much thicker. Okay, I just took a food break, and after literally pinching this section as many times as I can to just try to figure out how the heck to get these to lay evenly without having to go all the way down to the crotch, I've decided you can't do that. So we're gonna cut these bad boys first because this is a whole lot of fabric that I don't feel like dealing with when I'm sewing. So I'm going to be cutting this pair of shorts at an angle because I just think cutoff shorts look better when they're at an angle instead of just straight across. I'm going to be leaving 2 inches at the end because I'm planning on doing a rolled cuff at the bottom. I'm going to be using this protractor from elementary school because I couldn't find a ruler. Also, you're going to need a piece of chalk or a pencil to mark the line that you're going to be cutting along. If you want to just do a distressed edge instead of a rolled cuff at the bottom, I would suggest leaving 1.5 to 1 inch left at the bottom instead of 2. Fold it over to make sure they are the same length on both sides, and then you're done. Yeah, anyway, you get the idea. What's gonna happen is you're gonna fold these up like this. Actually, I think I can cut these shorter. I don't know, do I like them like this? They're really not bad, actually. Never mind, maybe I won't. Okay, well, anyway, now I have to deal with the ass part because this is still an issue. I do think I do have to sew all the way down this line to get rid of that weird puckering area that's making the weird hole in the back, but I don't want to pull it tight on the sides anymore because then this seam is gonna look weird because I'm hitting the buttons and stuff already here, and I don't want to do that. We're gonna go all the way down the seam instead. So let's hope this works. So sewing down the butt dart was a lot harder than I expected. Surprise! Getting it to lay flat was a struggle, and I did end up sewing some of it by hand. It was mostly at the top because the bottom near the crotchal area was way less noticeable if I messed up and way easier to sew. So I mostly just stitched it all with my machine first, and then I seam ripped the spots at the top that I thought weren't quite even and sewed it by hand and flipped it back and forth to make sure it was aligned. I also decided to cut the shorts at even more of an angle because I thought they looked a little too straight earlier. Honestly, I can't tell if it made that much of a difference in the final product, but whatever, it made me feel better. I'm also going to just be hand stitching the 2 rolls I put at the end of the shorts because I want to be able to reverse it easily if I ever decide to turn this pair into a distressed pair of shorts. Hello! Okay, I look like a crazy person because it's just a triangle thing going on here. The jeans are cut, the waist is cinched, the butt cheek is even. Thank God. It took me so long to do this because I ended up doing it by hand for a lot of it. You don't have to do that. You could easily just draw the line and just it's not gonna be 100% perfect. This isn't even 100% perfect, but it's gonna look fine. It really wasn't that big of a difference. It was probably a millimeter off, and I just couldn't stop staring at it. Okay. I feel like I fucked up a little bit on this side. I'll be back. So I paired the final product with this really cute little Ralph Lauren tank top that used to be my mother's, and it used to be longer, and I just cut it with a pair of scissors just now. So the outro clip that I filmed was really awkward because that's just my personality, apparently. Now you get voiceover Heather instead. Yay! I love how the shorts turned out. I think this is a really affordable and sustainable way to create these shorts, and I hope this tutorial was somewhat helpful for you guys. Subscribe if you want more videos like this, and oh god, I'm so bad at plugging myself, I'm cringing. Anyway, see you next week. Yes, next week. I'm actually gonna upload regularly from now on. Maybe. No promises. Okay, bye.